Hello everyone, and welcome back to Yaps with Jay. I am your host, Janice, and this is episode 3. If it is your first time here, this channel rather, is just a place where I talk about my challenges throughout this week and the lessons I'm learning and the things I'm still kind of figuring out. Like a diary, just you get to eavesdrop. So let's just get right into it, shall we? This week's biggest challenge for me has been something that I've been sitting with for a while now. I want to say maybe over a month. Being off of social media, which is a big thing for me to say because I used to be constantly on there. And I didn't necessarily plan this whole big detox from social media. I just... I sat with myself and realized that I was just very overstimulated, and I was starting to compare myself to other people, and the brain rot. The TikTok brain rot is real. And yeah, I was like, okay, I need to stop. And I also just realized that TikTok and Instagram, not just TikTok, but TikTok and Instagram kind of did something to me, and it was shaping how I viewed my own life, and I didn't quite like that. I wasn't just scrolling. I was absorbing, and absorbing all of this curated content, curated versions of people's lives, and all this perfection. And whether I realized it or not, I was constantly asking myself, am I doing enough? Do I look happy enough? Do people like me? And it was tiring, honestly. It was really exhausting once I had asked myself those questions. And I think what hit me the hardest, and I say this with no shame, just honesty, is how much value I had placed in how people saw me and what they thought about me, what they're saying about me, how many likes I get. And what I took away from that is when I removed all of these things and, removed the constant feedback loop, it felt uncomfortable. It felt uncomfortable at first. Like I didn't know how to just be me without the need to document everything. But I think slowly something kind of shifted. And just shifted for the better. Being off of social media has taught me how loud that internal voice is when the external voices are quiet. And I had to sit with myself, no filters, no stories, no highlights. And I realized how much I've tied my worth to being seen and how people perceived me, or if I looked creative, if I looked successful, or if I have everything together, which I don't. I really don't. But I think the truth is how people see me or how people view me isn't who I actually am, or who anybody is for that matter on social media. And maybe the real question isn't how do I want to be seen, and it's who do I see myself as when nobody's watching, And I'm still learning how to detach from the, performance of it all, and how to kind of live fully in the moment without needing to share it or to prove it or to frame it in a certain way for social media. And especially, like, I think it's hard, especially in a world where everything feels like content. And I think personally, I've made some excuses about why I needed to document it. And, you know, I guess it's the same old, like, oh, well, I always want to remember this moment, so let me just document it. And yes, that's all fine and dandy, but for me, it took away from actually living in the moment. You know, I was more concerned about how I'm documenting it and how it looks than actually spending time in the moment with the people that I was surrounded by. And yeah, I when I took that completely away, I just realized how many things I had missed. And, you know, I can't go back and feel those moments again, but I think through learning this, now I can actually, I'll still document. You know, you have moments where you want to document something, but I think I always just need to remember, and maybe you too need to remember, that you want to just live in the moment, you know? And that's something that you're never going to get back. Like, no amount of pictures or videos are going to ever bring back that moment. And the moment is more important than documenting it. That's what I've learned. Or am still learning, because, like I said, I was chronically online, and it just wasn't healthy for me. It really wasn't. Now, I'm not bashing social media. I think social media can be beautiful. I think it can be powerful. I think it can be helpful, honestly. There are a few things that I've learned from social media. And I also think it can be creative. I've seen a lot of creativity, especially on TikTok. And I just think that for me, I need to set some boundaries, and I need to protect my peace, honestly. And some things that I'm still kind of figuring out, especially with now, because this is part of social media. So stepping back into creating content is kind of how do I use it without being used by it, and how do I still create without falling into comparison, and as well as like how do I share without attaching my self-worth to the feedback. And I don't have all the answers yet, as you will come to find in these episodes. I really don't. I'm figuring out as I go, just as I believe you are. But I do know that stepping away from social media has helped me kind of reconnect with myself, and in a way, like reconnect with myself in a way that I didn't know that I was missing. Yeah, so just a quick check-in on my 30th birthday. You are going to get sick of me, but I will not stop talking about it, because 30 has, not the number 30, but just where I'm at in my life is a big milestone for me. And weirdly enough, being offline has helped me kind of reconnect with what I want out of this next chapter, and not what looks good online or what gets kind of the applause from people, and sometimes just strangers, you know. But what actually feels right, and what actually feels real to me. And, you know, even though I'm still going to be posting those birthday pictures, I am not going to attach my worth to the outcome of posting those pictures, or what people are going to see, or how people are going to perceive me. So yeah, that is my week. And, you know, it was all about logging off, about looking inward, and just realizing that the best version of me is not filtered or performing. It's the one who's learning to be present and to be real, and just to let go of the need to be constantly seen. Because, like I said, it's it's very exhausting, you know. But I'd love to know is if you have ever kind of taken a break from social media, and what have you learned from it, or if you're thinking about it but you haven't really yet made that leap into logging off for a little bit. Yeah, just something to reflect on throughout your week. But thank you everybody for tuning in. As always, I will catch you on the next episode of Yaps with Jay. And just take care of yourself, protect your peace, and always remember you're enough even when nobody's watching. Until next time, everybody. Bye.